congratulations on another win. Just how hard have you had to work for that one today?
Very hard, but we're really pleased with the win. Another clean sheet again, so we need to keep going.
Yeah, lots to be proud of at both ends of the pitch. How patient did you have to be, particularly in that first half, with the way that Palace were able to keep you out for really half an hour until your first opportunity?
Yeah, indeed. I think lately it has been like that. We just need to keep patient throughout the whole game, because we can score any time. But they try to adapt to us as well, and that's what we did today. We created some more chances in the second half. We had, it would be nice if we would have put the game to bed, but we battled until the end, and those are sweet as well.
The breakthrough coming from a set piece, again, it feels as if there's a tension in the Emirates now in dead ball situations, certainly in the crowd. Do you feel it as players on the pitch, that expectation?
Yeah, a little bit, but we are excited as well. When we get a set piece, we know we can score, so it's an opportunity for us to get a goal. So we work a lot on it, and it pays off.
It's another game today where you've managed to get 3 points against opposition, which previously you've dropped points in title seasons. What's the difference? How are you seeing these games out now?
It's hard to put a finger on it, but I think every year you just learn more and more, and this year we're so strong, especially defensively as well. The whole team works really hard, and then on the other hand we put the game to bed, whether it's a set piece or an open play goal, doesn't matter to us. We just want to win games, and it's another win.
Does it feel like you're laying the foundations for something pretty special here this year?
Yeah, let's hope. We want to win every game, and we approach every game the same way, so that's how we need to continue.
All right, congratulations, well done today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
When Leandro Trossard says, when we get a set piece, we're confident we can score, might be something of an understatement
we get
at the
excited.
moment for Arsenal. Absolutely. I mean, you start to then think, as a player and as an attacking player, we don't necessarily need to be as exact and actually create a chance anymore, get an assist, score a goal. We can play for set pieces. The scope of what you can then achieve when you're in possession of the ball just becomes so much bigger, and obviously then you're getting the big guys off the back. The delivery is always excellent, but put that together with we just saw the run of the last 7 games. All victories, only 1 goal conceded in that. So you put both of those together, they're strong at both ends of the pitch, and everything's going their way at the moment.
Only Nick Voltemada in those 7 games. 2.5 games before they even had a shot against them till the second half there. I mean, they're just so hard to try and break down.
But they're so stingy. But it's not only their back 5 I talked about before the game of thinking they're the best in the league. Well, I look at Timber again today, and he's got everything. I mean, it's just so powerful. He's quick, he's good on the ball, he tucks round, he's a leader. Saliba comes off injured there today. Looks like they're trying to protect a little injury from him. Mascara comes on, looks like it's a seamless transition. He just comes on, does the job. Calafiori comes off, they make changes, and they're able to cope. Declan Rice comes off with a little injury. I think he was carrying an ankle injury from the first half. But if he can't make the next game, there's no dramas anymore because of the squad that they've built. And every team wants to, play expansive football, put a load of passes together and open teams up and score from open play. But you can't always do it, especially when teams sit on a low block, like Palace did today. Palace were going nowhere. They were quite happy just to suffer out of possession and try and score on a counter-attack. They're a threat. We know they're a threat because they're a side they're party poopers. Wherever they go, they cause a problem. But Arsenal just don't panic, and they just think, we might have to score from different means today. It might not be pretty, but we need maximum points, really. We're at home. And they don't panic. And I think they've got that calmness and belief that eventually they will score. If they don't score from the first header, the first contact on their set pieces, everyone knows from fine detail where they need to be when that ball might drop, and that's exactly what Eze did. I mean, Gabriel makes it good. He can't get the header on target, but he knows he can put it down into an area where they're coming in, and that's exactly what they did. I mean, the pass, without the delivery, it all falls down, but he just knocks it back into that area, and Adam Wharton switches off, unfortunately. Guy he drops in plays them all onside straight away. And he just knocks it down into the area, and Eze just steals the march on Adam Wharton and finishes it brilliantly. The technique to keep that down is fantastic.
Yeah, I always feel Arsenal are on the move. in those areas as well. Their movement is great, but they're also, they all know their particular jobs. The delivery is excellent. The big guys attack a certain area, and the smaller guys are then anticipating where the ball might line, where it might go to, and on that occasion, Eze's quickest to it and a brilliant finish.
That was probably Crystal Palace's fans' worst nightmare this morning, that he hadn't scored yet in the Premier League for Arsenal. He was going to do it today against Palace.
Yeah, I mean, he owes a lot to Crystal Palace. They're the club what made him. He's had an opportunity, he built up at Queen's Park Rangers, and he wanted to play in the Premier League. Palace took him, he was very good for them, but they were also good for... he showed the respect when he celebrated there, but he's got the move what he wanted. He was already a hero before he goes to Arsenal, because it's... the analogy I use, it was like Tottenham have got a Christmas present on New Year's Eve under the tree, and when they get down in the morning, it's gone. And he's gone to your best friend. Like Arsenal, it was horrendous. But for the Arsenal fan, it was amazing news. And he's an incredible player. What a player that kid is, because he doesn't have to settle. Leon touched on it. The boy's played hundreds of games in the Premier League at top level. He knows the transition was easy. Going in and around the quality players what Arsenal have as well. It was just an easy transition for him, but to steal him from Tottenham like they did was just disgusting.
And this goal, as Tim says, wasn't celebrated, and he got a standing ovation from both sets of supporters. What they don't need for Christmas is any more defensive reinforcement, because look at the numbers, Leon. The first in absolutely everything in terms of those defensive foundations.
Yeah, and that just doesn't fall into place. That is recruitment, getting the right players, getting depth within that, but also then hours spent on the coaching pitch, hours spent working as a team, understanding exactly how the manager wants you to defend in each and individual situation. So you can see how hard they are working. And when you do that in training, quite often, Tim will tell you, when you're getting put through your paces at training, if the results aren't on the pitch, you start to lose belief and lose sort of, managers' ideas are going to work. But actually, at the moment, everything that they seem to be doing, set pieces, defensive situations, creating opportunities, all seems to be working, and then you can really buy into what the manager's asking you every time he asks you to do something different.
Absolutely right. I mean, to highlight that, 11 goals they've scored from set pieces. If they hadn't scored 11 goals, the players are turning, they're asking questions why they're doing 3 hours a week on set plays. They're not asking any questions now, because they know if they're not flying, if they're not scoring from open play, there's always a chance. The size of the players, the strength of them as well, but the delivery is absolutely spot on. But it's diligent on the work, on the TV screen, the analysis, and on the field. Mikel's got it all going for him at the moment.
6-point gap to Manchester City, 7-point gap to Liverpool. And the thing I would say is, watching games, they look further ahead than those points. That's how good they are. Now they've got to show a ruthlessness. They've got to show that, all that Arsenal bottling it and all that stuff that came back in the past. They've got to show that they can go beyond that and stretch this lead to 9, 10, 11 points. So we get into Easter and they've got a real buffer between them and the other teams. The moment Man City are still figuring things out. If Holland doesn't score, it's a problem. Liverpool can't keep a clean sheet. Things ain't working particularly well at the front end of the pitch. Arsenal have to make the most of those two situations.
Yeah, it does feel like a big gap in terms of display, quality, performances, doesn't it? Not just the points, but just a gap.
Well, what Ulster's saying is it's kind of like, it's what I'm seeing. So, like, a season or 2 seasons ago, those 1-0 games were draws. And they dropped
14 games, didn't they?
Yeah, and you're just like, oh, they're going to drop points. This team doesn't look like they're going to drop 1-0. Comfortable. They defend their goal. They don't give you chances. It looks a completely different team in those moments.
I mean, does it look right now like Arsenal could run away with it, Robbie?
We could get to February. If they can keep this going and continue to stop people getting even shots at their goal, this could be done by February.
3 goals they've conceded all season long in 13 games in all competitions. Arsenal lead the league table by 4 points.
4 of our early kickoffs on Premier League Live this Sunday, including, of course, our feature game at the Emirates, where Arsenal are in front. They had to be patient there, though, Leon, didn't they, against Crystal Palace?
They took a while to get going. I thought Crystal Palace started positively and were asking more of the questions, but you always know with Arsenal that they do have patience. Glenn mentioned it in commentary. They've got patience. They'll relax. They'll know that they've got quality throughout the game. Somebody will pop up with the moment, and no surprise it was Eze.
Yeah, and no surprise to him. It came originally from a set play again for the Gunners.
It did, yeah. I mean, Palace tried to hold the line, but Mark Gay drops too deep, plays everyone onside, and then you have to take care of the second ball. He's sharp onto it, he anticipates where it's going to fall, and it's a good finish. But you look at Mark Gay here, just drops early, he plays everyone onside. Then Wharton has to stay there with Eze, doesn't he, Leon? And it's he has to be more diligent there. It's okay, trying to protect when you want to play with the ball, but sometimes you have to do the hard yards, and he's paid the price there.
And he just got caught ball watching just for a moment, and at this level, if you get caught ball watching, the top players will get themselves that half a yard, and that's all Eze needed. Terrific finish. I mean, the leap and the flexibility and the agility to be able to get up there and then keep control of that finish was outstanding.
Yeah, scored at the Emirates in this fixture last season for Palace. Now he's got his first Premier League goal for Arsenal, and that is now 11 set-piece goals already this season for Mikel Arteta's side.
Incredible. Like we say, sometimes they don't care. Sometimes they're happy to suffer without the ball. Sometimes it's not as fluid as they want, but they know they have to defend well, keep the clean sheet, and you'll get a chance at the other end. And if it comes from set pieces, like you say, 11 goals from set pieces, incredible turnaround. And
now when they get their nose in front, as we mentioned, they've only conceded 3 all season. That's the challenge for Palace.
Yeah, very difficult 45 minutes for Palace. I will say that they have quality in their team. They've got a guy who scored a hat-trick last week, Mateta. They've got goals in the team, but Arsenal defend so well, and they defend, as Tim was saying, as a team. They don't mind defending as a team. Everybody contributes to that clean sheet to that good goals against record. So, you'd be very surprised if Arsenal don't keep it.
He's watched Arsenal. They are in good shape. No prizes for guessing when he started his preparation for this fixture where he would start. Set pieces and corners, defending in particular.
Yeah, I mean, there's such an avenue across the Premier League at the moment, but Arsenal are comfortably the best. Their understanding of what they're doing, their attention to detail and delivery is key. But within each of the set pieces, Saliba is the sacrificial lamb. He goes and stands in front of the goalkeeper, giving everybody else the opportunity to attack areas and, for the most part, try and get Gabriel as free a header as possible. But they always seem to go into that front post area. It doesn't matter where they start from, across whether it's the edge of the box, whether it's at the back post area. Everybody knows exactly where this set piece is going to be delivered to. Saliba gets in front of the goalkeeper, then you get bodies into an area. And this can only work, as I was saying, if your delivery is on the money. And whether it's Saka from one side or Declan Rice from the other side, on each occasion, they do it. And this is last moment at Newcastle to win the game. Again, relying on exactly what they're good at, getting the ball into these areas and being able to finish it. And, I think what Mikel Arteta's doing is spending an awful lot more time on the training ground doing this than any other team, and they're getting the real benefits from it, Tim, aren't they? I mean, this is not direct flick on at the back post, but another set-piece goal. And when you're coming up against difficult opposition that are frustrating you, you can get a goal from a set-piece. You go on to win the game, and they're thriving at it.
Nicholas, the set-piece coach, he can't go anywhere. He can't go anywhere, Steve. I mean, he gets stopped by everyone in supermarkets and everything. He's famous now. I mean, and rightly so. And that's incredible. And what they do from set-pieces, but the time they spend on it is 3 hours a week. And you asked Leon earlier, how long did you used to spend? And it's probably the same as me, about 20 minutes at the end of Friday afternoon. And you say, we're going to do one hand up going near post, 2 hands up when it goes to the back post, whatever it is. Now, 3 hours a week. Can you imagine?
Well, that's borne out by the fact Arsenal have only scored a third of their league goals this season in open play.
Yeah, well, it just shows you. I mean, some teams sit back against them. It's really difficult to break down the block, so they have to find a different way. But if they score, there's no way of stopping. When the delivery is on the money, like it is most of the time, I mean, delivery is incredible. And they score. The teams have to then have a plan B, and then they have to come out, and then they can open them up from open play. But they just find a way. They don't care how they're winning games. We talked about Liverpool. You'll never hear Mikel talking about another team the way they're imposing themselves on them. Then, they go long balls. He's used to the Premier League now. He knows what it's all about. Arne Slot last year must have thought, what's all the fuss about? This is so easy, because they just strolled it. This year, people have found them out a little bit and say, you know what, they might not like the long throws in there. They might not like a direct play. We might have to sit deep against them. You can't keep going in front of the camera afterwards and say, it was a low block against us, or we like the long throws, or it was a little bit direct. All of a sudden, if you're in the opposite dressing room, you're like, well, that's Andy, you don't like it. Mikel's not saying that. He's learned. He's got everything now. He's got all the experience going for him. He's got the strength in depth going for him. He's got the flexibility of his team where they can play on the front foot. They can go toe-to-toe on a football. They can go and get it off their goalkeeper, or they can go direct, or they can have a fight. They will beat you all ends up. They've got the strength better than any team in the league at the moment, and they've got a manager with the experience.
And what he has got is Crystal Palace's best player from last season in Chiesa today. It must be a strange first feeling for him. First time he's played against Palace, but he's the Arsenal fan. He got it, and he's found his feet nicely at Arsenal.
He has exactly what Mikel Arteta would have hoped for. I mean, we've talked about signings. Some people need a moment to settle in. Not Ebery Chiesa. He's settled in brilliantly, and it's been great for Arsenal because, you know, the talisman in the middle of the pitch, Martin Odegaard, has struggled with a bit of injury, not necessarily been in the team as often as you'd expect, and this guy's been able to go and fill that slot, and Arsenal haven't stepped off at all. And he offers a little bit of a different role than Odegaard does, but that in itself gives Arsenal another avenue of attack, another opportunity for these players to express themselves. He can play wide if necessary, but, you know, to have already, you know, got 2 assists, which is a big his game after only 4 starts is an exceptional start.
What about the centre forward, Tim? Much discussion. Big 2 goals from him in the week in the Champions League against Atletico, but his all-round play, how has that altered, improved the way Arsenal are playing?
I really like him, Steve. I think he's a physical presence. I think he occupies the centre-backs. He creates space for the 10s, like the Ezes of this world, or Odegaard when he's playing, or Saka to come into them little pockets. I really like him. I think he threatens in behind. He will score goals. He will get on a run. He'll get more confidence. The goals in midweek would have helped his confidence. The team look like they're playing towards him. He will make a difference. The team that the games they were drawing against the lesser sides last season and the season before, he will be the difference in them games. He will score the goals when they're not playing that well. I really like him. I admire him. I think he knows English football, but he knows the Championship. He went to Portugal. His goal-scoring record was fantastic, hence why now he's at Arsenal. I think he'll be a success. I don't worry about him.